So we're doing renovations on my house, you know, those kind of good times that everyone likes to have. I actually freaking hate any renovations. I hate painting the walls. It's the worst. And one of the worst things that we had to do was we're redoing our floors in our house, so we had to take out all of the stuff from the first floor of our house, which our kitchen's on that floor, and I had to move the fridge out of the house. And I got the impression from talking to people that if I had the right dolly, I should be able to move it on my own. Like, moving your fridge isn't actually as big of a deal as it seems like it is. And so I was like, all right, and I got the right dolly, strapped it up, and I started moving the fridge. And as soon as I started moving, I was like, something doesn't feel right. Like, this feels really heavy, like dangerously heavy. I don't feel comfortable with this, but you know what I did? I just kept going. I just kept moving it anyway, because I felt like everyone made it seem like I should be fine. So I just kept moving. It was kind of scary, and it was very scary, and I moved it down the steps and put it over there, and it was a terrible experience. Now, later, my contractor moved the fridge back in. And when he moved it, and he's a lot bigger than me, when he moved it back in, he had to ask one of his workers for help on moving the fridge. Now, this sounds like a story of my strength, like, look at my muscles, and I'm a big, scary man with the strength, but I'm not. It's actually not a story about strength. It's a story about shame. It's a story about stupidity. It's a story about how I should have asked for help. I should have trusted my experience when I felt out of my depths, and I should have asked for help because my contractor did. And my contractor told me, he said, I've moved thousands of fridges, and your fridge is the heaviest I've ever moved by far. In fact, you shouldn't have moved your fridge by yourself. And it made me realize that this applies to all these areas in my life where, you know, I'm an introvert. I like to do things alone. I don't like asking for help. You know those IKEA brochures where they show you like one person putting together this furniture and it's like a big cross through it, and then he like calls his friend, and his friend comes over to help, and they're like, yeah, do that. I'm like, never in a million years I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna build this thing by myself. It sounds like a nightmare, inviting anybody to come experience the hell of building IKEA furniture with me. And so that's me, right? And then even worse than that, in terms of mental health and struggles and what have you, I find it really hard to ask for help, and especially hard to ask for help with things that seem like I should be able to do them on my own. You know, should, as culture or your peers or whoever would have you feel like you should be able to do this by yourself without help. And yet, you can feel the burden of what you're carrying feels dangerously heavy, even though you feel like you should be able to deal with it by yourself. And so, first of all, I want to just say, if you're dealing with something today that feels dangerously heavy, and you feel like everybody in your life has made it seem like you should be able to carry the weight of this, and you're just trying to hunker down and get on with it, realize that is dangerous, and stop what you're doing. And I don't care how silly you feel, that fridge could crush you. Your fridge might be heavier than all the other fridges. And don't compare yourself to other people. You don't know what's in other people's fridges. You know, some people got a whole mess of spiders, crazy mental health issues, you know, poverty, lack, and past hurts and trauma and all that stuff. Maybe your contractor was like, you should be able to lift it, but he didn't know your fridge is heavier than other fridges. And you don't know what makes other fridges lighter. You know, some people have a trust fund. Some people had their college paid for. Some people had, you don't know why. They might have had a friend in the business that gave them their big break, with whether they deserved it or not. Quit comparing your fridge to everybody else's. Accept the fact that your fridge just might be heavier than other people's. And push through the shame, push through the silliness, push through the pride. And if you need it today, whatever it is you're dealing with,